there is nothing like perfect election anywhere in the world. It's very, very important for you to understand that, and that even the most developed democracies have their own problems. When the National Assembly got involved in amending the Electoral Act, it was because of the complaints and then the observations of our previous elections, where we saw flaws and thought it is necessary to make sure that those flaws are corrected. The main aim is to move a country to a situation where we will have what is called free, fair, and credible election. Even though these three concepts have always been misused and people don't even understand, but they are distinct and distinguishable. A free election is the one that allows a citizen of a country to exercise his right to vote without any hindrance. A fair one is the electoral body's responsibility to provide an enabling environment for all participants in the election to participate fairly, and the government of the day to make sure that there are no inhibitions imposed on any candidate, either by way of restricting his movement or making sure he does not have venue to campaign or such other drawbacks that will work against him. A credible one is the totality of the process being watched by ordinary Nigerians on the street to say that yes, the candidate that actually emerged through what we call majority of lawful votes. These are the three concepts. In this situation, civil society, citizens of the country, the Independent National Electoral Commission, the judiciary all have roles to play. When we started our democracy in 1979, my learned friend, I'm sure if you remember the case of Ajashi versus Omoboro, I think it's in 1980 Supreme Court report, I'm not so sure. If my memory has not failed me, page 89, Justice Weiss specifically captured the role of judiciary in making sure that the electoral process is achieved towards these three goals. And he made it very clear that in the determination of electoral matters, substantial justice should be preferred, and that human inadequacies which incapacitates a lawyer can in the same vein be clouded, human inadequacies which incapacitates a litigant can in the same vein be cloud the thought of a lawyer, and that since substantial justice is to be prepared, human inadequacies must never be taken into account, and that technicalities of whatever description should not be allowed to inhibit the course of that justice. The whole idea is that we are a multi-religious, multi-ethnic, and our diversity, in short, dictates that we have a democracy that can guarantee peaceful coexistence in the country. So for us to go with an impression that we will have what is called a perfect election, I think that is wrong. What we require INEC to do is to do what we refer to as substantial compliance. I'm sure my learned friend will know what that expression means. Substantial compliance. And once there is evidence of substantial compliance, the election is deemed to have been held fairly. So let Nigerians not begin to think that we have reached a stage where, or we will reach a stage where we will have a perfect election. Even the most developed democracies do not have that. But citizens have responsibility, and more especially, participants in our electoral process must exhibit some level of responsibility to assist INEC to achieve that. And I think this is where Mr. Chairman, Nigerians should anchor their thoughts on whatever we are doing here. Anything that we have discussed here that we believe rightly that it needs our attention, as a parliament, I'm sure it will be attended to, not necessarily by us, but by those coming after us. Because ours is to put the records so that when they come, they will see what we have done. So please, Nigerians, participants in our political process, government of the day, and that's why the comment of my learned friend, Opeyemi, is very, very important. Don't ever give the impression that you are sabotaging one process or the other by your action or inaction, because that is going to affect the integrity of the election itself. And it's only a free, fair, and credible election that can guarantee peace in a multi-ethnic and multi-religious country like ours.